Welcome everybody. As you can see, this is Endurinsomnia, and this is my first commentary. So as my first commentary, I wanted to give everyone a walkthrough of my village that I spent probably a good month, two months on when I first started playing this game. This map was pre 1.8 on Minecraft, so it was before creative. I will say now that I did duplicate wood. Not right away. I did have a bunch of trees. This entire area was actually filled with trees. When I first started, this whole area was just full of mountains and trees, and I spent majority of my time probably leveling mountains and clearing the ground in order to make this village all by myself. I did later on in the map get help with the road and the some of the houses. Past that though, most of it is all me. And I'm going to go in order from the first buildings I created ever in Minecraft from my first time playing to my last creation ever. So let's get started. My first thought was, of course, when you first start, I was getting used to the game, and of course I started gathering materials. So when I first started, I wanted to build a house. So of course, my first building would be this lovely old gem here. Of course, it's not that great. I didn't have the great concept to make anything really beautiful or amazing in any way, shape, or form. It's just a house. The roof came later. Additions actually were added to it afterward. But when I first started out, it was much, much prettier than this, believe me. It was pretty much, I could have made it out of mud and it'd probably look better. So, giving you a tour, it's nothing really fancy. I thought it'd be cool to make a storage room and library. So let's see if I can get through the door. So I put a bunch of chests full of stuff. Obviously, from clearing out the land, I got an insane amount of dirt. And no, I don't duplicate dirt. As lovely as it sounds, I just wouldn't do it. But past that, this house is really nothing that fancy. I made this balcony. I thought this was the most amazing thing. When I first made it, I thought it was so clever. Like, oh, I'm one of the great Minecraft builders. And then I started seeing some of the stuff people could make, and my hopes and dreams were quickly and soonly after crushed. And so this was my first building. Nothing fancy. There is a tunnel system going between a bunch of the buildings that I'll get to later, which is right here. But it's very boring if I start it from this building. So I'll move on to that later. But we're going to go on to my second building. And for a while my girlfriend played with me on this, but she didn't really build too much. And so I actually built her a house, and this was my second building I ever made. As you can see, it's not much different because I made additions to this one, and I got them from this one. But I did make a few clever changes to this one. It's a little bit more cozy on the inside. Set up a little better. Got a basement. Nothing in it though, because I'm cheap and didn't want to furnish it. It's expensive to furnish a house, especially one that has a basement. And so, it's small, cozy, but nothing too fancy to it. Give you a look of it from the top. Got a glass roof to it. Got a little fountain area with water in it. A garden and a few trees outside. So it's pretty nice for the most part. Really small and cozy. So that was my second building I ever made. Now on to the third thing I ever made was, I don't remember which one it was. It was one of these mine towers. I think it was this one. But it was just one of these originally. It was just a watchtower that I wanted to be in the center of my town. I didn't even have ideas for a real town at this point. It was just starting out. And it looked nothing like this when I first started. It was really crappy. I ended up rounding the edges after a while, and that came later. And so jump right into it. Go up to the top. I could have just flown because I'm obviously in creative, because since now, with all the updates that have come, this map is no longer useful to me and no longer gets updated. I did see a mushroom the other day though on this map, which was pretty amazing. It was the only new thing I've ever seen added to this map. But so this was the tower. I ended up making two of them going across the cozy little house, and a tunnel going between them. Mind you, I never played Minecraft before this, so these obviously isn't the most amazing conceptual architecture you'll see, but it was just my design and I thought it looked neat at the time. So moving on, go upstairs. And we'll move on to my fourth creation, well, fifth if you count the second tower and then the tunnel bridging between them, would be the castle. So instantly after that, it was big, and so I wanted to make something bigger, and so I made a castle. Most of my time in this game was probably spent making this castle and adding to this castle. A lot of my friends enjoyed it and liked it, and not much else is to be said about it. I just wanted to build a castle, so I made a castle. A lot of the designs came through a long process of trial and error. Some I didn't like at first, and then I would change them and go on to a different design. But ultimately, this is what it looks like. So I'll give you the walkthrough. It's very large on the inside. Well, it's actually not incredibly large on the inside, but it's cozy. So of course, I've got the checkered floor on the inside, and I've got a piston door. That took me a long time to figure out, by the way, especially doing it for my first time. I think I might have had a little help on that, actually. And so I've got 4 rooms on the right side of the castle. Nothing too fancy, nothing too cozy. But if you go down the hallway, we have the east wing, of course, and we got the library. And, nothing really fancy in there. I just wanted it to be for looks and be cozy. And on the left side of the castle, we have the sort of living area, kind of a cozy living area, the fireplace and seats, and of course the storage room with storage materials. I never really duplicated anything except the wood, and that was later on. I did duplicate diamonds, because of course diamonds, when I got my first diamond I was so excited, and I quickly lost it by falling in lava, so I of course wanted to keep my diamonds when I got them. And so the second time I got a diamond, I decided to duplicate the crap out of them, which a lot of you may not like, but I'm sorry. I just enjoy playing the game the way I want to play it, and so for the most part, I did duplicate things later, but nothing that had to do with building anything too much. A lot of it was tedious gathering and hours spent just gathering materials. Wools were duplicated too, but I'm not going to go into all the things that I ended up duplicating later in the game, because this is actually a creative map now, so of course the duplication is out of the question, and I could just gather whatever materials I wanted. So, going upstairs to the second floor, we have the room where I spent my time. I considered my room in the entire map. Of course, I went for the purple carpet and the purple checkered carpet. Got a couple storage rooms. Had a few chests for all my rare materials. A couple furnaces, building areas. This is the fireplace. Oh, well, that would have killed me if I was not in creative. But this is my fireplace, and of course the draft there, because you gotta let the heat get out. And then this is where the magic happens, which there was no magic, by the way, happening. So moving on to the east side of the second floor, and we have the dining room, which has no table. I went through a lot of stages of trying to make a table, but since this was pre 1.8, you couldn't stack pressure plates on top of fences, so it was hard to figure out a way of making a nice looking decent table. So of course this is the kitchen area. It's on the second floor, and of course it's linked to what should have been the dining room. This map isn't finished. I wanted to show it to you guys in its true form of what it is now, and still is, and will be for a long time. Going up to the top of the castle, the very top room, I wanted to be like a balcony area to overlook the town, and so it did take a lot of tedious time figuring out how to make the staircase. Since I didn't know a lot about Minecraft, it was just all trial and error, of course, and finally got to work for me. And so I furnished it up a bit and tried to make it look a little bit nice. Then we got the tower outlook balcony, and so if you go out here, you can just jump on here and you can look out. Of course, if you fall, you'll probably die. And from here, you can even go up here if you wanted to, even though that kind of just does that. It wasn't supposed to be an addition, of course. And oh, I skipped right past the well, let's just jump right into it. This is the kind of the third floor, I guess, but it's also the roof of the main part of the castle. if you must. It's got 4 pillars that I had made in the corners because, of course, castles need watchful areas where archers can shoot zombies and oncoming intruders who you don't want in your castle. And so, from here, I made 4 of these. They're all pretty much identical but opposite on both sides, of course. And 2 fountains running down the front of the castle. And from here, a garden and so on and so forth. Nothing. It's hard to explain. I was going for just a very realistic look, nothing too conceptual or abstract. I want it to be realistic in the form of like a castle and what a modern castle should probably look like. So this is the roof of the main part of the castle. So that's not all the castle. If you think that's the entire castle, it's not. That would be very lazy of me. Of course, I had to make a basement to it, and this is the tunnel shaft, of course, I was telling you about. So I made a basement area, which you probably see me run through here earlier because I'm an idiot and like to run around for no reason. I added this, of course, being creative. I added this little area as kind of like a fortress monster spawner scary area. And monsters spawn in here. All the lights go out. Basically, I'll show you what happens on the inside when you shut all the lights out. All the lights go out and monsters are then able to spawn in here. And I kind of just made it as like a fun room in the castle. I later, of course, added the bedrock, which I wouldn't have been able to get pre 1.8 because creative didn't even exist. And so that's that. Creepers blew up in there all the time, so that's why, of course, I covered it in bedrock, so it didn't utterly destroy my castle and all of them explode. And then going further down to below the basement of the castle, this would be the kind of luxury area. I made a hot tub, kind of your just average, decent, boring hot tub. Got a big screen TV with a coffee table and a bench, which is made out of wood, so it's not very comfortable to relax on. Then, of course, this room, which I'll let the sign read itself. Don't really want to read that out loud, especially if there's children watching. But got the pool, lighted pool, and glass floor, and this fancy room that's mainly for scientific experiments. Unless you were able to read the sign, then you would know I'm just BSing you. And then below that we got the enchantment table, which of course came in later because I put that in when I switched the map over to creative. And so moving on, let's get out of here. And oh my god, go up here. So I'm gonna leave all these doors shut because I hear zombies and they sound rude. I want to get out of here and move on to my 5th building I ever made, which really isn't that great, but it is my nether fortress portal. Now this commentary is probably going to be in 2 parts because this map is really big and it's going to take a long time to explain my thought process behind it, but we will get into it later if this video is too short in any way or is going on too long. So moving on to the nether fortress. Nothing really fancy, just went for a piston door building. It went through a lot of design processes, but this is finally what I ended on. And moving past this, got the I'll show you. I didn't really do anything inside the nether fortress, but I'll show you anyways. I did make a little building, that way I could defend myself for Pete's sake against the freaking ghast shooting fireballs at me. Past that though, not much happened here. Not too much, pretty boring. Pretty boring, never really built anything in the nether. Moving on. So yeah, that was my fifth building, I think, or 6th. I don't know which one we're on, depending on how you're counting the mine towers or the lookout towers. It's really all up to you. Little fun fact, by the way, if you're wondering whether or not I generated cobblestone, since I didn't clearly state that with like the growing list of things that I ended up over time duplicating, I'll show you where I got the cobblestone, just in case it's a curiosity in some of your minds. So of course from here, which this is just a small part of it, I did waste a lot of time on this area trying to make a mob spawner, which I ended up creating. Those are boring though. We all know how mob spawners look, so I'm not going to jump into that. Don't have a whole lot of time on this commentary, so I'm going to try to cut down quick. Going down here, don't want to waste too many of your viewers' time. This is where I got majority of my cobblestone. Majority, I say majority, but really it was all of it. I made this enormous tunnel. Enormous. And yes, I did use TNT. This was not all done by hand, or else I'd still be doing it today. But this is where I got my cobblestone. Ooh, whoa. Sorry if that makes you sick or dizzy. So yeah, I actually think that I'm gonna end this first commentary on this. I think it's a good note. I think it's a good note to leave you with, this tunnel. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'll take you to the town. Whoa. I'm really good at flying, by the way. That's why Superman recruited me. Going up to the town. I will leave you with the town. So, as for the first part of my tour of the town, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll have the second part up soon. This, of course, is my first commentary, so I hope you all enjoyed it. If you do, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section, leave a like if you want, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. I hope to bring a lot more videos and get far better at it.